Hi folks, it's Pappy Two Bears again, asking you to join me as I sit and talk with you a little bit. Out here again today in Aquania, my place of peace, in my backyard. Yes, I live in the city, so if you hear city noises, that doesn't make it any less peaceful for me. Today I'd like to talk with you a little bit about, and perhaps even tell you a story that might have some pertinence to what's going on in your life now, or perhaps what has happened in your life in the past. And I'm going to ask you a question. Which would you rather be? A mouse or an eagle? Let's find out. You know, we're put here on this earth to live a life. You know, we're spiritual beings, but we're having a material existence. And because of that, there is an awful lot of confusion many times about how we should go, where we've been, where are we going, what should we do, and things of this nature. And there are just a plethora of ideas out there and people that are willing to tell you how to do this or how to do that, or show you what's worked for them. I'm going to give you another example of something that you can utilize that doesn't necessarily rely on everything that you've been told or everything you've been taught, but instead comes from the source. You know, all teachings really start from what I call the looks within place. Now, in this looks within place, this thinking place that we have inside of us, we evaluate the reasons why we are compelled to take a certain path, examine who we are right now, explore what we desire to become, and listen to the guidance given so that we can make a choice. We can then go forward on that pathway, putting it into action, and return again to the looks within place to evaluate how we've done, what was accomplished, and what needs to change, etc. This is a constant and dynamic process that builds on itself the more it's used. Now, mouse is a real good example of this. Now, mouse, little tiny mouse, explores its world, and it examines everything up close. It smells it, it touches it, feels it with its little whiskers, feels it in his little hands, and he remembers it. He always remembers the path that led up to what it is that he just discovered. It returns to its home on the same path. They have their established little paths. Each time it leaves its home, it will follow that pathway to where it stopped the last time and explore it a little further into the unknown before returning again. In other words, each place that he goes, he remembers the place that he just left when he goes off exploring in a new area, and he can return to that place. Now, after doing this repeatedly, day in and day out, mouse has learned every intimate detail of its world. In this way, mouse is able to develop the vision of an eagle and can see its known world from a higher perspective when it looks inside of its mind. This higher vision, this higher remembering, then enables mouse to be able to take shortcuts to its food sources, its rest areas, its safe areas, or even determine new areas to live if circumstances changes for it. In order for you to become the eagle that you may feel that you strive to be, you have to learn to do the work of mouse in your lives. Now, mouse has a good memory. We as human beings, some of us have good memories, some of us not so much. Standing behind my little fellow that you see in the camera is what I call my journey staff. And that journey staff is part of my memory. And like little mouse, when I explored into areas that I went and did things or saw things or participated in things or life circumstances that changed, I placed a symbol upon that journey staff. Each of those feathers became, for me, a symbol of something that occurred. The different colored ribbons meant different things. The different types of feathers meant different things. And there on that journey staff are my memories of weddings, of births, of baptisms, of deaths, of healings, of being healed, of gifts, and even plans. Now, Little Mouse stored all of those things in its mind, so I have to give Little Mouse a lot of credit. That little brain can hold a lot more than mine seems to. Our minds get so crowded sometimes that it feels that when we get new information in, something falls out of one of our ears, and when we go to remember it, it's gone. So this is why I came up with my journey staff that I use. Now, sometimes when you feel that the happenings of the world that you live in is handing you more than you're able to handle and still remain sane, okay, you need to stop and think about what's going on. You know, getting up to go to work, taking care of children, facing a traffic jam, cramming for studies, paying the bills, having to deal with sickness and disability, grieving for a loved one who is crossed, or facing that one person that seems to always rain on your parade when you're having a really good day. You know, no wonder you feel overwhelmed at some time. But you know, the Creator knew all of these things and more were going to be part of your living experience that you'll have to face as a spiritual two-legged living in a material world. When you walk your earth walk wearing this, you're going to have to be dynamic and go with the changes that occur in part of living. That's why He placed within each of you a quiet place where you can travel in order to communicate what your needs are, ask for help, ask for guidance, or even just take that heavy weight off your shoulders and leave it there. Now, my elders taught us to go to the looks within place, this place that is within us, when we lift up our prayers to the Creator, and to enter the silence. Here we are to be attentive, listen to the whisperings of the voices that connect us to all that is out there, that guides us, that supports us, that teaches us about our place in the world and the order of all things. Remember, please, go to the looks within place often, and you'll find when you get there that you're never alone, ever. As you look upon the picture that you see in the screen of this camera, you see that there are the green growing things, and you see the stone people. You see the earth. You see the air that moves the feathers and the ribbons. You hear the barking of the dogs. All of these things are made up of matter. All of these things are made up of atoms. The one thing they all have in common is the space that is between those atoms. And that is the space where the spirit that moves in all things, that I call Tagushkashka, that spirit that goes through all things, no matter what its perceived density is, that's the common denominator that connects us all. Because Tagushkashka, the spirit in all things, travels through all of these things and resides within us, who have been given the ability to perceive it. That is what makes the looks within place such a powerful, powerful place. Your looks within place is unique unto you. There are no two alike. You cannot be prevented from going to it unless it is by your choice or by your allowance. You cannot go into another's looks within place. You will not fit there. Your looks within place was created when you were created. The Creator that created you feels that you are important enough to be created. You can certainly be important enough to be listened to. The looks within place, where you gather all of your life walks, earth walks, memories, and experiences, just like Mouse does, gives you the eagle eyes to look from within and see the greater picture. So don't make a choice to become mouse or eagle. Make a choice to become the eagle that sees all things like mouse, and the mouse that sees all things like eagle. I'm Pappy True Bears. Perhaps you can find some meaning in the words that I've said. I thank you for sharing a wonderfully beautiful day, a blessed day here, and I hope that your day is blessed too. If you find that someone else perhaps could benefit from hearing this message, please share it with them. I'll come back when I can and ask that you walk along with me. Don't let me walk in front of you. I won't follow you. Let's walk side by side and talk as friends.